And I'm meditating and sitting, and Chariji's there on the stage and giving satsang, and I'm not feeling anything. I thought, is he really the guru? Am I still on the right path? Has something changed or something? What's gone wrong? These days you get someone who becomes pregnant and they say, oh, I can't do any work. I've got to stay home. In those days it was like we just went and did the work.
Wow.
There was no we didn't put any issue that would prevent us from doing it, especially Danielle. I mean, she was amazing.
Lastly, John, I want to ask you that this whole journey of sadhana for all of us, it's never the same. It goes, it twists and turns and things like that. And sometimes Daji calls it spiritual fatigue or something. There's times when it's, or maybe there's just people around you or something. You go through tough times and you start to question, am I on the right path? Is this really it for me?
Yeah.
Have those moments ever happened for you, and how do you get over them?
Probably too many times. That's what we haven't delved into, isn't it? That's the part where it can be quite tough. It can be quite tough on a path. Especially after you'd come back and felt that you'd found the path and the guru and everything else. Then what happens when this doubt comes into your mind, or for some reason you're not feeling that connection to the level that you had it before? And when I came back from my first departure from being with Chariji and then come back the second time, the first week that I was there, I felt no connection. I was hoping to feel that connection that I had before, all those beautiful experiences, beautiful moments.
You want to replicate that?
I want to replicate. I come with the expectation that this is going to happen again. And it was like flat. No experience whatsoever. And I'm meditating and sitting, and Chariji's there on the stage and giving satsang, and I'm not feeling anything. I thought, is he really the guru? Am I still on the right path? Has something changed or something? What's gone wrong? And I don't know what it was. Luckily for me, after about a week, and I was really getting frustrated about, and I'm thinking, oh, do I go and find something else to do? No, honestly, it was like that. Maybe it was just the master knows that something's going on and he puts a little seed back into you. And it was just like, okay, just accept whatever's going on. You're not going to get that same experience. Just take whatever's coming to be what's there. And as soon as I had that thought, then I started having experiences again.
Wow.
Like maybe not to the same level, but things were happening. Things started to shift, and I started feeling this connection with the guru and the master, and the work going on again.
It's interesting because I think we've all read that Babuji spoke to Lalaji about the final condition that he felt, and he felt it's nothing too great. So Lalaji said, "Oh, I could take it away from you if you don't like it." And he said, "No, please don't. I can't live without it." So,
yes.
So there's also this plainness that comes in. That sometimes can be, sometimes you can't figure out what it is, but it's there, and you mistake it for nothing being there. But the thought of it not being there is unacceptable.
That happens often, and often happened to me. Of course, I'm not talking that I've got to that level of Babaji or anything like that. That's a very high state that he's talking about. But in the what we call, when we talk about the yatra, we talk about the journey, and we talk about the different points and chakras that we go through. And at each point in each chakra, there's the first of all, entering into the point, then there's the settling into the point, the merging of the point, and then there's the identicality. Now, when you're in the state of identicality, there's no more experience. It's like a flat state. So every point has that state of, I'm not feeling something anymore.
Yeah, it's just plain.
It's just plain. But you've got to be in that state for some time before you're ready to move into the next part of the journey. But that's the most difficult part on the journey, is sitting in that. It's like sitting at the airport waiting for the airplane to come and take you off. And sometimes the airplane gets delayed. And you're sitting there and, you're sort of wondering, oh, what's happening? Why am I not moving? You feel frustrated internally. You feel like somehow there's the sort of the craving and that sort of wanting to be even with the master is not there, because a lot of this craving and a lot of this pull comes from the master himself. Sometimes we think it's our own, but it's actually, I believe, stimulated a lot by the master. And this is another beautiful thing about heartfulness is that, and Babaji said that, 1% of the work is in the meditation, 99% of the work was all done by the guru, by the master. And we don't really know what that work is. I mean, we experience it to some level. And there's a lot of the subtle work that goes on, when we're moving into the points and we're sitting there. It's almost like he then creates the right atmosphere for us to be able to go to the next point. We don't. I mean, we say that we're cooperating while we're doing our practice. But the real essence of everything is coming from him. Even the states, the craving states, I believe, sort of somehow he creates them in us, and then we respond. And then we can go to the next level. So it's really by the grace of the teacher and the system that we move from whatever point we're at to get to the next point. And this is also another part that happens is that we'll get into this state where I'm not feeling too good, I'm not feeling like I'm progressing as fast as I'd like to, or I'm not getting to this particular level. And then we're lucky that we have enough money to be able to come back to India again and again. And then, of course, being here in Kandahar, being here, even though we're not seeing Daji every day or whatever, but we get to have meditations with him. He'll be very gracious and give us some time that he'll give us personally, or, we could spend an evening with him. And that's as we say, the cherry on the cake. And that creates, again, the environment for us to sort of reach out and to want to go forward again. It's like, oh, yes, this inner beauty, this splendor, this grace, this divine essence we feel once again, and that just motivates us to want to be more and more involved.
Absolutely.
It's not like, I know you were talking about fatigue,